Guys, what's up? It's KOKOStern. I'm incredibly tired and I have headphones on my head because Onin is here with me. Onin, say what's up.
I'm supposed to say hi.
Okay, say hi.
Hi.
Hey, yes. So something about
Got it.
Dota. I want to just do like TI3 predictions because we're the Dota prophets, right, Onin?
Totally.
Yeah, if we say something or if you're unfamiliar with what the hell I'm talking about, when we did Pub Watch, when we covered a team, they went on to win something or get sponsored or I don't know, something, and it was kind of consistent through episodes, right?
Yeah.
It
I
was,
mean, we cover Fnatic, suddenly Fnatic best team EU. We
yeah,
cover Kaipi, suddenly Kaipi best team EU.
it actually happened. So, and we covered what was that? AFD, and they became Natolic SG and got sponsored. So, I don't know, cool stuff. So we want to talk about international anyways. And so I got the teams up so you could see them. And we don't have the brackets, we don't have the groups yet, so we don't know really anything. But let's just talk a little bit about what we expect to see here. So to start us off, East versus West. Odin, what do you think is generally going to happen in that? Who do you think is stronger?
I think they're actually, for the first time,
Ever?
potentially in history, they're just completely equal.
Yeah.
And not just in terms of skill among the teams themselves, but also just the way that it's all divided. I mean, we've got some top tier teams in the West. They're pretty much equal to the top tier teams in the East. And then we've got teams that are a tier lower than that, which I'd also call just as good as the one lower tier Eastern teams. It's
Yeah.
just really tight competition everywhere, and well, we've seen the results of that. Navi goes to China, wins tournament. Alliance goes to China, wins tournament.
Yep, pretty
It's
much.
not coincidence right there.
Yeah. And I actually I have to agree. It's kind of weird to me. I don't know exactly what it is a reason of. Been a lot of talks and speculation about the fact that um, the Eastern scene, the big teams, the biggest teams, just don't play as much because they don't have tournaments enough to actually play, which is really unfortunate for them. And that being said, I mean, what are you going to do? Is that they just don't play enough, so the Western teams caught up with them? So it still puts them on a pedestal in the way, and I just think that the gameplay evolved in all the scenes, and it might be because of the insane oversaturation that we have with tournaments, because there is a tournament every single day, all the time, and that everybody's playing so much, so they got really damn good. And I think it's going to be really interesting this year. However, I still think that the Eastern teams, except for like the top tier, the top two for me are in terms of the Western scene, Alliance and Navi still. And I think it's going to be them versus the tops of the Eastern scene. But I'm no longer sure who is at the top of the Eastern scene, to be honest.
Yeah, that's actually a really difficult question. I mean, if you'd asked a few months ago, it was obviously IG because, hey, they were winning everything.
Hmm.
And then they just started losing everything. And it's not even that the ones that replaced them is consistent either. It's pretty much just been LGD and Tongfu and DK at separate occasions.
Yeah.
So it really feels to me like it's impossible to know which of the Chinese teams is gonna be good. I mean, there is still even the potential for IG to just bounce back up to how good they used to be and just repeat what they did last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get a feeling that at least one of the Chinese teams is gonna be a top contender for the tournament, but it's very difficult to say which of them is. And I also think it's only gonna be one, maybe two, but it's kind of the way that the Chinese teams have always worked. There's just one team that's in shape right now, and a few months down the line, it can be a completely different team. And with all the quiet that's been in that scene for now, we just haven't seen any of those teams for over 2 months, I think. It's just impossible to know which of them it is.
Yeah, I really don't think that anyone should put IG on a pedestal of any sorts, especially with their recent performance and the fact that they were. I mean, last year they were amazing. They were in Navi in the finals. It felt like a huge climb for them to try, and IG was just perfect. They just did not make mistakes, and if Navi made one tiny mistake, they're done, because IG capitalizes on that amazingly. And that's kind of how it felt versus the Eastern teams. I mean, LGD were also amazing, and Navi got the better of LGD, but IG did beat them eventually. And I just don't see it happening as much. I want to take a stop for that for just 1 second. Quantic Gaming versus Rattlesnake. What do you say?
Quantic Gaming, 100%. Rattlesnake is just not a consistent team.
I have to agree completely. I'm kind of sad that it was Rattlesnake and not Visi Gaming.
I am.
Got it. And I think Visi Gaming were not consistent as well at that time. I don't know if they're consistent now because I haven't seen them play, but I think they would have had a better chance of getting to some kind of good basic state up to this point, and I don't see Rattlesnake doing that, so I totally give it up to Quantic Gaming. I don't see them moving too much forward with that. And let's actually go through all the teams and just point out what you think that they're going to do. In terms of IG, I don't think that they're gonna... I mean, could be huge, but I actually see the other Eastern teams, like you said, DK, Tongfu, and LGD, doing really, really well. In terms of the Eastern scenes, we've got Zenith, and who else? MUFC that's left. I don't know if LGD Int is considered Eastern or not. Are they? I mean, kinda.
They're kind of in between. I mean, they are part of the Eastern scene,
in a way,
but they're not Eastern players. And yeah, that kind of makes it ambiguous.
I put, if you want me to put them on some kind of tier system, I'd put DK, LGD, and Tongfu as the top. That I don't know who among them will be amazing, and I have to put IG maybe in the between one and the top tier, the bottom tier, and then Zenith, MUFC, and let's say LGD Int as well, and Orange. Though I honestly don't know, but I think that's pretty much how you can put that. Do you agree with that? Kind of.
I'll say that at least Orange is definitely on par with the second tier of Chinese teams, which in this prediction would then be IG and whichever between Tongfu, DK, and LGD isn't in good shape. I mean, they have shown that they have some serious potential against those Chinese teams, that they aren't just, part of the SEA scene who get into all of the minor tournaments and take them because they're actually pretty good. Mm-hmm. They have just shown that they do have the consistent performance necessary to at least place pretty well in a big tournament like this. But Orange, they're just not cut out to be winners of TI. I don't see them going even in the top 4. I'm pretty sure they're gonna make top 8. I'm pretty sure they're not gonna make top 4.
So you say they're gonna get out of the group stage properly?
Oh, they're definitely getting out of the group stages. There's no doubt about that.
And
but
in terms of Western, Alliance and Navi are at the top, obviously. And then do you see... I mean, Fnatic, Dignitas, Liquid, and Mousesports, and I'm going to put in Quantic for the sake of that. But Alliance and Navi are at the top. Fnatic, Dignitas, Liquid, Mousesports, and Quantic. What do you make of them? I mean, I actually really like how Mousesports is playing right now, but I have not seen Dignitas or Liquid or Fnatic play at all in the last month plus, to be honest.
Yeah, I also haven't seen any of Dignitas, so I wouldn't be able to predict their form at all. The last 2 games of Team Liquid were honestly atrocious, so they really have to step up their game if they want to get any shot at all. It really just feels like a repeat from last year as far as the American scene goes. And Mousesports and Fnatic, they've been directly competing with Alliance and each other and Kaipi. So I think all three of our European teams have a pretty decent shot at making it out of the group stage. As for Quantic, I also haven't seen much of them lately. I kind of feel like Quantic has just... It's one of those honeymoon teams that, as it gets formed and finds their own style, everyone gets surprised by it, and it screws up the meta, and because they understand it and other people don't, they just win everything.
Treant.
Exactly. Treant, OD, those kinds of heroes. But it's really the question whether the advantage that they had back then with understanding the game and the version better is really going to translate in the amount of skill necessary to make it through the group stage.
Yeah.
I say they have a good shot at it, but it's going to be difficult for them. It's not an easy bet.
Okay, so we said who we think is going to come out of the group stage. In a way, let's just kind of sum it up. We're talking about Alliance and Navi, so that's the top strong two. We're talking about LGD, DK, and Tongfu, so we have 5. IG, Zenith, we don't really know. Mouse Sports and Fnatic, we're feeling strongly about them. And Orange, you also said that they're probably going out of that group stage. And Final Four. Who are your Final Four, Onin?
I want to say Alliance, Navi, LGD, and Zenith. Just because I have this feeling that Zenith are just gonna come to TI3 with a bunch of really weird strategies that they prepared so well that they just win with it. Like that they're gonna have a decent enough performance to get through the group stage and then just pull out the tricks bag and get into the top 4 that way.
Ice, 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 ice. Yeah.
Yes. Something like that.
That's 4.
The past few games that Zenith has played in all kinds of tournaments, they've just never drafted anything normal. And it has been rather inconsistent. Like, I remember Ice 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 drafting an off-lane Broodmother, getting completely destroyed on lane and calling it GG pretty early. That's just... Yeah, I've got this trump card. Yeah, I've got 5 aces. What are you gonna do?
Okay.
But I just want to see them in the top 4 because if Zenith reaches the top 4, there is plenty of shenanigans going on to get in there, and I just want to see that.
So it's Alliance, Navi, Zenith, and LGD, CN for you.
Yeah, I put my bet on LGD as the most likely to be the consistent Chinese team.
I completely agree with that. Alliance, Navi, LGD, and I don't know if it's gonna be Zenith. I'm actually leaning towards DK a lot more than anything else, but I'm kind of between DK and IG. If I had to call it, it'd be DK, definitely. I don't think that it's Burning +4 anymore, really. I think that they're playing really well. When I saw them, I just felt that they're each one... I mean, I stopped looking at Burning. I just look at everybody else, and they're playing a lot more. It doesn't feel like Burning +4 for me anymore. So I'm going to say Alliance, Navi, LGGCN, and DK. And, okay, dude, finals. Who's at the finals and who wins? Come on.
That's pretty much impossible to
That's
say.
impossible, but we gotta do it anyways and then be correct. Somehow. Come on.
Well, with my predictions, I'm gonna say it's gonna be Alliance versus LGD. Just because I see Navi too easily figured out, and teams like LGD and Alliance are the kind that would just figure you out and beat you at your own game that way. So it's gonna be extremely close between Navi and Alliance, but I think Alliance should be able to overtake it.
I wanted to say something different, but I agree. Alliance and LGDCN are the most consistent team in the Eastern scene right now. And if we take Alliance versus Navi, then in the last 4 months, Alliance has impressed me more than Navi. Though Navi, I mean, the Alienware Cup was there were a lot more games. I mean, a ton more games than Alliance has played versus the Eastern teams, but I still feel Alliance is stronger when it comes to, I mean, if we pit them against Navi, I still feel they are stronger. So it's really close, but it's Alliance versus LGD. And who do I see take it at the end? Loda. Man, just give it to Loda. I'm just with Loda. That's it. You any objections? Who takes it? You didn't say who takes it. Onin?
Fine.
You're baffled. You're like,
I'll say Alliance.
You're say Alliance too? Okay. Okay, so that's our predictions. Locked in. That's it. Done. And now we can be completely wrong, and Virtus Pro wins the entire tournament. So that's gonna happen, and that was it. That's it. We're done. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm so tired. I've just watched Rayman Origins run by 8 different people in speedruns. Speedruns are fun, by the way. Completely unrelated Dota. And that's it. I'm probably going to watch most of it. And I don't know. I mean, my sleep schedule is screwed up completely, anyways. So I'm probably going to watch a lot of it. And the last 2 days, specifically the last day in the finals, I will watch 100% of that until about 7 a.m., which is going to be not fun at all. But I'm still going to do it. And I think I'll release like just recap videos, like 5 minutes of me talking in a very monotone, sleepy voice at 4 a.m. saying what I thought about the day. But I don't know. I'm not going to ask you to do this with me, Onin, so you're off the hook. You're okay. And that's it. That's TI3 Predictions by KOKOStern and Onin. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Onin, say bye.
Bye.